Alrighty, we're just going to get started with this today. No music intro, not much to talk about today in the sports world. I just kind of want to have a little fun episode today. I got my main man with me today, again, as usual. Cam, how are you today, Cam?
Doing all right.
Good. Alright, so let's dive right into today. So I do want to just talk about one sports story, and that's really it. Eli Manning. Eli Manning got benched
Yep.
for Geno Smith from this point on. And let me ask you something, Cam. Whose side are you on? The organization or the players? Because it really has turned out to be, it looks like the players versus the organization.
Yeah. Well, you can't blame everything on Eli.
I can't blame anything on Eli, in my opinion.
Okay, it's not his fault that the team's trash right now. They have no receiving core. Their running backs are terrible. The whole entire offense in general is just really bad. So he has nothing much to work with. But I think they're trying to prepare for the future because I don't know how old's Eli. He's probably what, mid-30s or so.
Yeah, let's be realistic here. We know where Eli's gonna go. We know what's gonna happen. Eli's 36.
Okay, 36.
Still got 3 to 4. But here's my thing, though. This team is a team that's built to win right now.
Well,
look at their
their receiving core is completely in shambles. They're all injured.
This is a win now team. You got the huge Olivier Vernon contract. You got the huge Janoris Jenkins contract. You got the DRC contract. The offensive linemen are locked into pretty big contracts. Eli's in a big contract. Odell's just still on his rookie deal. And then Damon Harrison's in a big contract. This is a team built to win right now. This is a team meant to be within striking distance of a Super Bowl. They've been plagued with injuries. My personal opinion is I think Ben McAdoo is the most incompetent coach in all of the NFL. I really think that if intelligent coaching staff, if intelligent ownership were to see how incompetent he is, he'd be fired and he'd never coach another day in the NFL. He is just incredibly incompetent.
Right.
I don't know what kind of goods he sold them when he got there, or what kind of blackmail he got to get that job as the coach. Like, I'd have Jim Mora as a coach over Ben McAdoo.
Right, but I think they're looking at it.
I'd bring in Chip Kelly over Ben McAdoo. He's so inept. He's lost the locker room. He's pissed off the team, and now you're benching the man who won you 2 Super Bowls. Who the hell are you, Ben McAdoo? What have you ever done? In the words of Michael P.S. Hayes, who the hell did you ever beat? Sure as hell wasn't Devon Eriks at the Georgia Dome in 1986. Like, come on.
I don't know. Is this McAdoo's decision or is it like
it's? I think it's the organization's decision, but I think McAdoo took part in it.
Right.
I think they're going to rebuild this whole team.
I think they're looking at it. They're 2-9. They're nowhere near playoff contention. So they might as well just see what the other quarterbacks can do and see if they're worth keeping.
But we know what you're going to get out of Geno.
Nothing.
What the hell are you going to get out of Geno that New York Jets couldn't? They groomed an offense around Geno. They groomed a team around Geno. You're going to find out one thing about Geno. He's lazy and he's got a piss-poor attitude.
Right. Which
is the same thing. My reason why I do not like Baker Mayfield. He's just got a piss-poor attitude. He's a dick. And people think that talent alone is going to win you games. Here's what happens, and I think this Giants team is part of it. You're starting to see this unravel with a lot of teams. The Giants, particularly the Jets a few years ago. The Cowboys a little bit a couple years ago. When everyone's loving each other, everything's all high fives, handshakes, and rainbows when you're 10-0.
Right.
But what do you do when you're 0-10? A lot of attitude problems.
Yep.
A lot of people bitching. A lot of people saying that on coaching team. This is why I really like Hugh Jackson, the way that Cleveland is going. They're a rough team. They're a young team. They're learning things. They're not throwing each other under a bus. They're not asking for Hugh Jackson to be fired. They're not asking to get guys out of there. They're building this team together. They know that they're in this with each other, and this is how it's going to be. Yeah, they can go other places. Like Joe Thomas has had opportunities to go other places, but he doesn't want to. He likes Cleveland. Joe Hayden was released. He was cut from his contract just to save salary cap. I don't think he has any ill will towards Cleveland, and I don't think Cleveland has any ill will towards him.
No.
Cleveland is honestly in a very good position to work on their. Yeah, they're bad right now. They haven't won this year yet. They haven't won next. They didn't win any games last year. Did they win one game last year?
Yeah, I think they beat the Chargers or something.
Okay, so they've won one game in 2 seasons. I still think they're a good team because they're not. You've got a good core of young guys. You got Njoku, phenomenal tight end player, phenomenal offensive player. He's a good threat. I can see him being a big threat for that division in years to come.
Yep.
Myles Garrett is a beast. As much as everyone wanted to rip him apart,
their defense
he was lazy
is stacked.
their defense is great. You got Carl Nassib on that side.
They also got Jamie Collins, former Patriots linebacker. Yeah,
that was a great trade for them too. It was a 4th-round pick for Jamie Collins.
Yeah, and Jamie Collins is one of the most athletic linebackers there are out there in the league.
I mean, I thought it was great when we were able to swing a trade to get Demario Davis back because Demario Davis was a fantastic linebacker for them. He's still a fantastic linebacker for us. I was really sad to see him go to Cleveland, but I mean, he played well there. I honestly do not wish the Cleveland Browns ill will. I really hope they turn it around because they're not a bad, there's no bad apples in the bunch.
Right.
Hugh Jackson's doing the best he can. This is a team that's just it's a team that has had so much turnover that they really have never had a base to build off.
Right.
And now they're building that base.
Yep.
So when they traded away the pick a couple years ago, that would have been Carson Wentz, I believe, because it was 2. Yes, because the Titans had 1. It would have been Carson Wentz, but they traded for 2 first-round picks. They had 3 first-round picks they used last draft. They got Njoku, Garrett, and Jabril Peppers. I think that was the way to go. When it comes to a team like that, it's quantity over quality. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say quantity over quality because then it sounds like they're just getting a bunch of shit players. But it's better to get a few good players than one all-star. One J.J. Watt.
Right.
It's better to get a couple really good players that are going to last you for 5 or 6 years where you don't have to draft that position again.
Right.
Over getting a top player. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I mean, it's not like a one-sided thing where you gotta get the J.J. Watt guy. Some guys will do that. And some teams will do that.
Right.
I totally can see why.
Yeah.
Because you'd be good. You'd maybe get some recognition. Maybe you can attract some free agents, showing people hey, this is a sexy position for coaches and free agents because you get to work with this guy.
Yep.
But I mean, for Cleveland, I think they've been handling it the best they could.
Right.
I really think they're going in the right direction. So I honestly, bold prediction here. I think in maybe 2019 or 2020, that's a team that could be being striking distance of winning that division.
You think so?
I mean, the Steelers. I think in a few years they'll be second in the division behind the Steelers if the Steelers don't implode. I think the Ravens are imploding, and I think the Bengals are imploding. Yeah,
the Steelers may because they're going to lose quite a bit of people. Le'Veon's gonna drop because he's getting close to 30.
Yeah. Well, you know what I like too about Cleveland as well? They invest in an offensive line.
Yep.
Something that I really like.
Unlike
when a team invests in an offensive line, you know that team's going to be good. You know it's only a matter of time until they're going to be really scary.
Yep.
So, I think all they need is a franchise quarterback. If they just get one of those, and I mean, I know it's difficult. It's real hard. But if you can get one, and I mean, they're always in striking distance to get one, probably picking one this year. They'll have a good crop. You got a good number of guys you can pick from. You'll have Sam Darnold, you'll have Baker Mayfield, you'll have Lamar Jackson, and then you'll have Josh Rosen, Mason Rudolph, if that's something you may be interested in, or Josh Allen. Personally, if I'm the Cleveland Browns,
I wouldn't draft a quarterback. I would sign one for free agency.
I mean, who would you go for, though?
Bridgewater.
See, I don't think Bridgewater's going to leave.
You think he's going to stay?
Yeah, because the thing is that he's a very grateful person, and he's been a locker room leader there, and he's been kind of a source of inspiration, a little bit of a rally call for some of those young
but
players.
will Minnesota keep him?
Oh, yeah. They'll offer him a few million to keep him. I mean, honestly, it's a smart decision to keep Case Keenum in there. I wouldn't bench Case Keenum.
Right.
He's playing phenomenal.
Yeah,
I thought Case Keenum was a really good signing for them. I thought Case Keenum was a really good quarterback at LA. I think he just been handed a raw deal.
Yep.
I think Jeff Fisher, right there, Ben McAdoo and Jeff Fisher, they're a perfect couple for incompetent coaches. I thought he was a really good coach, a really good player. He just didn't have a lot of targets. I mean, in LA/St. Louis, he had Tavon Austin, and then he had Jared Cook.
Yep.
I mean, Jared Cook is good, but he was the type of tight end that you could get a big safety on and you'd shut him down.
Right.
Not to mention you're playing the Seahawks twice a year.
Yep.
And then you're playing, I think the Cardinals are in their division, aren't they?
Yeah. Yep.
So you got two top safeties in Tyrann Mathieu and Cam Chancellor or Earl Thomas and Pat Pete as well. Another couple secondary players that could go one-on with them, and you could shut that team out. You could shut their offensive game down. I really like Sean McVay. I think Sean McVay...
He is killing it.
He is.
He's killing it right now.
I think Jared Goff is killing it. I really like this year how there's just so many good teams that it's not your typical team.
Right, yeah.
It's not your,
It's not
your Seattle and Seattle, Green Bay, Washington.
England.
Yeah, New England type of thing. I mean, New England's always good.
That's right.
I like when there's surprise teams that come out of nowhere. I think it's good for the sport.
Oh, yeah.
So, but, like, I mean, it's tough. I mean, if I'm Cleveland, I'm taking Rosen. That's what I would take with the first overall pick.
But they've been so bad at picking quarterbacks that I feel like they should just sign with their free agency. One's ready to establish himself in the league.
I just don't know if you're going to be able. I mean, I don't know if you're going to be able to get a good one in free agency. You're going to have to. You're going to go after Kirk Cousins.
He's pretty decent.
He's great, but the problem is Kirk Cousins is going to. You're going to have teams like New York that are going to throw their money towards him. San Fran's probably going to throw some money towards him. He's going to go to the highest bidder.
You're right. Yeah.
And he's also going to take into account winning. And I think, just because I'm a Jets fan, I follow the Jets a lot, I think the Jets' position is very enticing to him because, one, look what this organization, this head coaching staff has done with below average quarterbacks. Josh McCown is he's an NFL quarterback. He's been good enough to stay in the league, but he's never been this. He's having a career year. I mean, I know he's probably, just because of all the injuries, he's at least a top 15 quarterback. He's probably right around like 18 to 13 in the NFL.
Yeah.
He has one of the highest completion percentages in the league. He has one of the highest deep ball completion percentages in the league. So he's having a career year.
Yeah.
He's having a phenomenal year. And to get that kind of production out of a guy who usually is a career backup, usually doesn't play that well, is phenomenal. Ryan Fitzpatrick, the same thing.
Yep.
He had a career year 2 seasons ago with Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker, and they were just killing it in the NFL. They led the league in touchdowns that 2 seasons ago in passing touchdowns. So it's really not the worst job in the world because it's the Jets, but it's also not the best job in the world because it's the Jets.
Or could they sign AJ McCarron? They tried to trade for him.
Honestly, I'm gonna go a little bit rude on this one. I'm a little feisty today, so I'm gonna talk a lot of garbage.
Oh boy.
I think that if the GM really did stop them from trading for AJ McCarron, good for him. What the hell is AJ McCarron gonna do for you?
You never know.
You damn well know. He wasn't that productive in Alabama. He had a great team around him in Alabama.
Right.
And he's had opportunity after opportunity to come on into Cincinnati and light the world on fire, and he never does it. Honestly, I think he saved their ass not getting A.J. McCarron. I don't think A.J. McCarron is that great of a football player. He's not like Garoppolo. Here's the difference. Garoppolo is in the New England Patriots. Yep. So he sits behind Tom Brady. He sits behind Andy Dalton, who half the league people hate. Around the league, they hate him, half of them. And the other half think he's okay. I like Andy Dalton. I think he's a good quarterback. I think what fucks him a lot is not having Tyler Eifert. Because he's always injured.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think I just dropped the first F-bomb ever on the show. But I mean, no kids are listening to this. It's like 5 people.
5 people.
5 of our peers. But like, it's just... With Tyler Eifert, he's a great tight end when he's healthy. So, I mean, I would look, if you're Cincinnati, I'd look to get some... And A.J. Green is great, but same thing. He gets doubled.
Or he's injured.
Yeah, same thing. So, like, part of it is, what do you want him to do? I mean, I think they have a top running game. I think they've got, like, what I would say is, like, the standard for a running game. A good running game. With Giovanni Bernard, and his name's escaping me right now. Who's the other running back they have there?
Jeremy Hill or Joe Mixon?
Jeremy Hill. No, not Joe Mixon. I hate Joe Mixon.
Yeah, I know.
Screw that guy. No, we had that conversation. I edited it out last time because I felt bad, but like I said, today I'm feeling feisty. I would rather take a guy who doesn't perform as well with a great attitude over a guy with a piss-poor attitude that'll play better. Joe Mixon's my number 1 example. Baker Mayfield's also my number 1 example. Because you know who I would take? If I'm the Browns, I'd take Rosen. He's the safest pick.
Yeah.
He's kind of a dick. Like, he's a little forthcoming. He likes to call out people. But, I mean, he does back it up. He backs it up a lot.
Yeah.
I wouldn't touch Baker Mayfield with a 10-foot pole.
No.
Unless maybe, if he fell to the second round, I'd call his agent and be like, you going to have a bad attitude when you get here? No. All right, well, I'm going to trust you. And if you have a bad attitude, just get ready to sit. The number one guy I'd take, if it's not, well, I mean, depending on the system. My 3 favorite players in this draft, number 1, Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
Number 2, Josh Rosen. Number 3, a bold one. It's not Darnold, it's Mason Rudolph from Oklahoma State.
Mason Rudolph.
I told you, I'm a big fan of the deep ball. I love watching a guy.
You're a fan of the gunslinger?
I mean, I don't know if he's a quote-unquote gunslinger. Because, like, the part of the gunslinger thing is it's just like, you just whip that thing around with no wherewithal for your body. Like, you do. When you are a gunslinger, I think Pat Mahomes. Because Pat Mahomes, a lot of time when he would whip that ball around, the worst form people have ever seen in their lives. Like, watch the Gruden's QB camp on him. He throws, he'll sidewind a football like he's a shortstop. His father played for the Mets, so he did a lot of baseball.
Okay.
And he had to make the choice of whether he would go play baseball or play football. He, on the fun fact, he did the opposite of a certain New York Yankee. There was a certain New York Yankee. I probably told you this story.
You talking about Judge or no?
Yes, I am talking about Aaron Judge. He was recruited to play baseball at Fresno State. Or no, he was recruited to play football. Excuse me. Yeah, he was recruited to play football. He was going there for the visit at Fresno State. The baseball coach came by and just hijacked the meeting and got him to commit as a baseball player. Because he wanted to play baseball, but he wasn't getting any baseball offers.
Okay.
Now think about that team, because the time he went there, it would have been him, Devontae Adams, and Derek Carr.
Oh my God!
In that Mountain Western Conference.
Could you imagine that?
They would have carved everyone up. I would have felt so bad if I was one of those teams. Like, I go against Fresno State.
Yep.
You got the brother of an NFL quarterback. You got this Devontae Adams kid who's carving people up. You got this 6'8" guy named Judge who's killing people. That'd have been hilarious.
Yeah, that would have been something.
So yeah, I mean, going back to the Eli thing, I think the Giants are stupid. My opinion. A lot of people disagree with me. I think the Giants are stupid. I think benching Eli is stupid. I think benching Eli is disrespectful. I think it shows no class. And if I was the Mara family, I'd can the GM, and I'd also can McAdoo. So I'd bring somebody new in.
They also just announced that Janoris Jenkins is placed on the IR, so needs out the rest of the season. So looks like the Giants are in full tank mode right now to see if they can get the highest pick possible.
You think they're going to be in tank mode? Just wait till this offseason.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to be big sellers, quote unquote. I won't be surprised if you see a bunch of them get traded. I know Eli's getting traded. I know where he's going.
You think they're going to trade Eli?
I mean, how many years does Eli have left on his contract? Can you check that for me?
Good.
I don't think he's got. I think he's got a couple years left. So, I think they're going to have to trade him. The problem is they're over the cap. They're in cap hell. He's got this year. Yeah, he's got this year, next year, 2019. So he's got next year and the year after. And he's got maybe not. He has a potential out between the 2018-2019 season. Let me see here if it's for him or if it's for... Let's see here. He signed a 4-year, $84 million contract with the New York Giants, including $31 million signing bonus, $67 guaranteed, an annual cap of $21 million, signing bonus, carry a cap hit, and dead cap. So it doesn't say who's got the potential out. I'm guessing it's going to be him that's got the potential out. Oh no, they would, because if they caught him, it's a $6 million dead cap compared to. Okay, I see what they're saying. So if they cut Eli instead of 13 on the cap, it's gonna only hit him 6. I see what they're saying. So they'd cut him in 2 seasons. I think they'd just trade him.
Who would pick him up though?
Who do you think would pick him up?
You're thinking on trade him to the Jets.
No, we all know where he would go. Come on, take a little bit of a thinker here. A little bit of a thinker. Who's still in the league that's worked with Eli Manning? You're
not talking about Tom Coughlin.
Oh, I am most certainly talking about Tom Coughlin.
Wait, he has a job somewhere?
Yeah, he's the president of the Jaguars.
I didn't even know that.
Brought in Doug Marrone. Coincidentally, now that I think about that, that's probably why Doug Marrone got the head coaching job. Both of them are Syracuse alum.
Oh, yep.
So, I don't know. Well, I mean, like, Syracuse alum is, and he's coached at Syracuse.
Right.
He didn't go to Syracuse.
Right.
Coughlin went to Syracuse, and I think all he ever did was a grad assistant, and he never coached at Syracuse.
No?
No. Would have been interesting to see him coach here, though, wouldn't it?
Oh, it would be.
Would have been pretty cool.
But do you think the Jags are gonna get rid of who they got?
Blake Bortles.
Blake Bortles. Yeah, he's not the best, but
Doug Marrone hasn't shown a lot of faith in Blake Bortles. I think Blake Bortles could hit free agency. I think they could trade him. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they would trade Bortles straight up for Eli, because Bortles was drafted the same year as Teddy. So Bortles has 1 year left on the contract. You could trade him.
Right.
So what you could do is, if you wanted to give, like, if you're the Giants, you could trade Eli for Bortles, have Bortles start, and then bring in a guy like Rosen, and let Rosen sit behind Bortles for a year, and then just let Bortles walk out the door and let Rosen or whoever you draft take over. I'll tell you right now, if I'm a New York team, I wouldn't touch Baker Mayfield. No. He can't control himself in Oklahoma. He can be able to control himself in New York.
In New York, right? Much bigger city.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the problem, is when you're a New York team, it's hard to control your players. It's damn near impossible. So, it's just, you can't do it.
Tyrod's going to be available. The Browns could pick up Tyrod.
I think the Jets are going to take Tyrod. My dream scenario would be the Jets take Tyrod, they draft Lamar Jackson.
They are not going to do that. Why would they do that?
Because I think there's been rumors John Morton wants a running quarterback. And the Jets have been scouting one player the most out of anybody, and it's Lamar.
They would do one or the other. They would not do both.
Why not?
That's a lot of money right there just for one position.
Nah. You gotta realize, like, what else? Like, the Jets are a young team.
Are the Jets going to get rid of all the other quarterbacks on that roster then?
Oh, yeah. Petty's gone.
Petty, Hackenberg.
Well, Hackenberg, they're just going to live out that contract. It's like $2 million a year to keep his ass there. It's just easy to keep him there. And then just let him walk.
Just let him walk.
Yeah. He's a second-round pick, so his contract's not big, so it's not worth it to cut him, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just easier to keep him as an undrafted quarterback and then just not have him get any reps in practice. I mean, think about this. If you're the Jets, if you're Mike McCagnon, I think it's probably going to lose his job. I think he'll get canned.
Yeah.
And anyone that says no, I'll say this. They're picking 6 in a big quarterback class. 2 words, Christian Hackenberg. So I don't think that they're going to have much faith in McCagnon to deliver the pick. But what I do think, though, is that they could easily, if they wanted, Tyrod could call him and just say, hey, you want to shove it up the Bills twice a year? You do? Sign on the dotted line.
True.
And I mean, he's used to the climate. He plays in Buffalo. Same thing as New York.
Right.
And then you pitch the same thing. Oh, you're having great numbers there. Look at Josh McCown. Look at Ryan Fitzpatrick. This system, now that my brother pointed it out, he after watching it fully, like really kind of looking for it, you can see a running quarterback would benefit the Jets a lot.
Yeah.
The way Morton runs this system, it would benefit them a lot. Because, like, he does a lot of deep routes and a lot of stuff that would just, with a running quarterback, you'd carve up a defense.
Right.
With. Because, like McCown and Fitzpatrick easily would rush for, 40, 50 yards. And those guys don't have speed at all.
No. They're not too athletic.
And they would carve up a defense every once in a while on big rush plays.
Right.
Imagine if you had that all the time with a guy like Lamar or a guy like Tyrod.
Right.
I think Tyrod got the most raw other than Eli. And the worst part is, don't you think you'd learn? Look what Buffalo just did. Yeah. We're going to go with the future. 5 picks in a game.
Not even in a game, it was in a half.
Yeah, in a half. Finish the game with 5 picks. If I was Tyrod, I'd been like, better give me my money. No, they're not going to sign him. Then he's just going to walk away from money.
Yeah, he's going to walk away for sure.
I thought it was a boneheaded decision to bench him, and then Ben McAdoo comes by and says, hold my beer. I'm going to make the stupidest decision in all of football.
Well,
I'm going to bench Eli Manning.
The difference between them is that Buffalo's, 5-6?
I believe so. Or 5-7. Yeah, something like that. No, I think they're 6 and something now because they beat the Chiefs.
The Giants are 2-9, so there's nothing to look for a Giants season. And the Giants start winning all of a sudden. They're not going to make the playoffs, and then they won't get as high as a pick as they would if they just continue to tank.
So the Buffalo Bills are currently 6-5, so they're looking at the wild card position if they play their cards right. But the problem is they got to play the Pats twice. The Pats can easily just kick them right out of the playoffs.
Yep.
But here's the difference though. One is Tyrod Taylor. One is Eli Manning.
Right.
One has 2 Super Bowl rings, and when a healthy wide receiver core was there, was making Odell the best wide receiver in the NFL.
Which Odell's nowhere near being the best receiver.
Don't you dare tell me Julian Edelman's the best wide receiver in the NFL.
I ain't saying that. I'm just saying Odell's not that good.
Who's your top 5?
Top 5? That's a good question.
Lay it on me. Top 5.
I haven't thought about that.
Not stat-wise. Okay, you want me to give you my top 5?
I haven't thought about that.
On who I think is the most productive, and like when I think of top player, I think of the guy you have to game plan most for. I'd say number 1.
Antonio Brown.
Your number 1's gonna be Antonio Brown?
Yeah, come on.
Mine's Mike Evans.
Mike Evans?
Yeah, Mike Evans is huge. Every offensive coordinator, coach, and player.
As in the Tampa Bay receiver.
Yeah, Mike Evans from Texas A&M. Everybody says it. Mike Evans is the future of your NFL wide receiver. He's huge. He's fast. He's strong. He's intimidating in size. And he's got great ball hit skills, and he's got good ball tracking ability. Mike Evans is my number 1. Like, if you were to put Mike Evans on the Giants, holy God. Dear God, the damage he would do. Number 2, I'd say Julio. Number 3,
Julio's fast.
I'd say Antonio Brown. Number 4, I'd say Odell. Number 5, Jarvis Landry. I think Jarvis Landry's a top wide receiver. Give him a good quarterback. It's not Jay Cutler or Ryan Tannehill.
You got a point there.
I really think he'd be productive. I mean, hell, he's a Pro Bowler last year. Him and Odell play almost the same exact game.
Yeah.
They're very identical in their game. They're both really good players. That's why I think it's 4 and 5 for those two. What? You're just looking at me like I'm a piece of garbage because I said that.
Jarvis.
Are you mad that I didn't put Julian Edelman on there? That grind your gears?
I don't care. We'll just win more championships. He doesn't need to be the best receiver out there.
That's true.
He'll just win Super Bowls.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
How about we'll go to tight ends for you? Quickly, who your top 5 tight ends?
Well, it's obviously going to be Gronk.
Gronk's going to be number 1.
Probably either, maybe not Olsen, maybe like Kelsey, maybe.
Yeah, I'd say right now my top 3 I'd say is Gronk. I'll go with 5. How about this? I'll give you my 5 because I can tell you're doing a little bit of thinking. I always have this type of stuff ready because I never know when I'm going to be on the station. The top 4 is going to be who's your top players at this position. So my top 5 would be Gronk, Travis Kelsey, Zach Ertz, Greg Olsen, and then another one. I know you're gonna think I'm a fan, but it's my opinion because I think he's gonna be one of the best tight ends in 2 years. OJ Howard. OJ Howard. I think OJ Howard was a steal at that pick. No matter what team, if he was on whatever team he got picked for, I thought he was gonna be close to a Pro Bowler. If he'd had.
He's on Tampa Bay now, right?
Yeah, that's why I wanted you to think I'm just thinking another Tampa Bay player. But no, I think OJ Howard's a phenomenal player. That's why I really thought that they had a chance to make the playoffs this year. Because Jameis is a franchise quarterback.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Mike Evans is a great great receiver. You cut the field up now. You got Deshaun Jackson on that team.
Yep.
That's another great receiver to add to that team. That's a speed back. So you got 2 different styles of receivers carving up your offense right there. You got a decent running back in Doug Martin, who's been he's decent in play, terrible in contract. The defense is phenomenal, and they're getting better every year. They're a young, good defense. And then, other than Joe McCoy. but he's not old. You know what I'm saying? He's not like a veteran. But
right.
You got like Vernon Hargraves on the one of the leaders, Vernon Hargraves over there. I think Noah Spence is on that team too.
I don't even know.
From Eastern, I think that's where he went. I could be wrong though. I might be wrong. I thought I had heard that they took him in the second round. Noah Spence was a guy from Ole Miss. Yeah, he's a player for the defensive end for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Tampa Bay.
So they're a really young, good team in my opinion, and I thought that they could pull it off this year. Sheldon Rankins, isn't he still on the Saints? Yeah, I don't know why he's like the trending thing when you're talking about. I didn't even go to the same school. I'm looking back here. It's like Noah Spence. Noah Spence went to, I think it was Ole Miss, and then he went to Eastern Kentucky after. Oh, Ohio State, excuse me. Ohio State got kicked out for, I think, drugs.
Probably.
And then it was him. And then you had Sheldon Rankins, who was from the D tackle out of Louisville. But like for some reason, it's when you type in Noah Spence, people also search for Sheldon Rankins. I don't know why. Baffles me. One's from Ohio State, then went to Eastern Kentucky, then went to and then from Philadelphia, and then went to Tampa. The other one from Georgia, went to Louisville, then to the Saints.
You're right.
They're not in the same division, so I don't know what. Like, I just don't know what it is. Don't know the relation there. One of those algorithms they've got messed up there. Oh well, it is what it is. That's my specialty is the draft. I love talking about the draft. It's my favorite thing to talk about. But let's talk about the big news today. The big news. Okay? As of 2.5 hours ago, the number one trending video on YouTube with, as I refresh now at 11:38, has 467,000 views, 755,000 thumbs up. Marvel Studios presents the Avengers Infinity War official trailer. So what I want to do is I don't have the audio on, okay? I want you to look at the screen here. You're going to look at the screen. This is part of the reason why I want you to sit over there. I'm going to go like frame by frame and I'm going to talk to you about why I love this trailer. Okay?
Okay.
So first it's this ominous thing. I'm not going to talk really about what they say because it's very ominous, the speech they had when the first Avengers movie came out. So it was like, oh, we were there to fight the wars that people couldn't fight for themselves. First shot, Tony Stark in chaos, holding his hands that are all dirty. You can tell his clothes are tattered. He is emotional. I'm guessing it's because something has been destroyed. Bruce Banner as the Hulk. He is in the middle of what I'm guessing is the temple from one of the temples from Doctor Strange. And Doctor Strange and his assistant, I don't remember his name from the film, are both looking over him. Doctor Strange was a really good movie. If you haven't seen it, watch it.
Of course I haven't seen it.
But you don't watch anything.
I don't watch anything.
But of the any of the viewers or listeners, if you haven't seen Doctor Strange, watch it. It is a phenomenal film. I think Benedict Cumberbatch was like the perfect candidate for it, and I think he does it so well. He actually has a little bit of Thor too. He's in the very beginning of Thor. Then it shows Scarlet Witch, I think her name was. She was from Age of Ultron with human Paul Bettany, who's Vision. The little stone on his forehead showing that that's who that is. They had a love for interest in the comics. Then it pans to Thor on a spaceship. Which one? We don't know. Because I'm going to ask why at the end of this video. Then it shows Bruce Banner and then Scarlett Johansson, who has cut her hair super short, blonde now, new getup, looks pretty cool. All this looks incredibly badass. And now we've panned to the Marvel opening. So, you got Iron Man, Hulk, just like the opening vignette thing to introduce this is a Marvel Studios production. So, yeah. Then they pan back to New York and they show inside the temple. So yes, it is the temple that the Hulk was found in. You've got Doctor Strange. I can't believe I forgot his name, his assistant. Bruce Banner and Tony Stark. All in civilian clothes looking at the mess. Tony Stark begins to look outside and he sees it. Then we get to one of my important parts here. One of my favorite heroes in the Marvel Universe. The rebirthing, the rebranding of Spider-Man. Tom Holland, Peter Parker, is on a bus and his hair stick up. Do you know what that means?
The Spidey senses are tingling?
Yes! The fans wanted Spidey senses and they got it in Avengers. We've got Spidey senses. And then he pans over and he looks on this bus. He sees this huge metal device, metal ring that's come out. And now you see the next scene is Tony Stark and the squad again from Doctor Strange and Bruce Banner standing outside wreckage. Tony Stark takes off his glasses, is looking up what I'm guessing is that portal. And then you see Loki in the next scene holding the, I don't remember the name of the device. Oh, I hate myself that I forgot this. It's the cube from Avengers. I forgot the name of it. I'm sorry. I'm going to look it up right now. But Loki's holding it. I'm going to give you a really bold prediction, too. I think Loki is going to die in one of these two movies.
Two?
What do you mean?
I mean, one of these two movies.
There's two. There's an Infinity Wars Part 1 and Part 2.
You're
going to know why there's going to be a Part 2. I'm going to get to that in just a second. Because I can kind of, after watching the trailer, tell how stuff is going to be. It's the Tesseract Cube. It's an Infinity Stone.
The Tesseract.
The
That
Tesseract,
sounds
that's
familiar.
what it was. It was the Tesseract. So I'm going to give a bold prediction. I think Loki is going to die in one of these movies. Because in Thor Ragnarok, I'm spoiling Thor Ragnarok now. It's been about a month. I got this trailer to talk about. I'm incredibly excited. I love superhero movies. I love superhero movies. We went on this with Justice League. I love Justice League. My favorite character in Justice League was Aquaman. Number 2, Superman. I love watching Superman punch the shit out of people. Especially with how strong he is. Watching people go flying around is crazy. But this, with Thor Ragnarok, was better than Justice League. But Thor Ragnarok was phenomenal. And Loki at the end turns. He goes from this mischievous, evil brother to, he turns at the end to the good guy. Into a wholehearted, embracing that his brother loves him. And in comes the first full picture we get of Thanos. That is his whole purpose is he's got a gauntlet. You're going to see it in a second. I'm going to show you. And he's looking for all the Infinity Stones. It's called the Infinity Gauntlet. The new Spider-Man costume that you see at the end of Homecoming, where he's promised by Tony Stark if he were to join the Avengers, he'd get it. And he decided no, he'd go back to Brooklyn. Or Manhattan. I don't remember which borough he was from. I think he was Brooklyn.
I don't even know.
A lot of Italian guys are like, hey, yo, Spider-Man, do a flip. I'm selling falafels. Spider-Man's hilarious. Like, even if you don't like hero movies, Spider-Man's just funny. It's just a good time. So I don't know if it's supposed to be like the Iron Spider suit or whatever. And then we've got Thor in the eye patch. And then we've got the reintroduction. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know who the character that was that threw the spear. But a silhouette catches a spear that was thrown at him. And then you see Black Panther. And he says, and I quote, "Get this man a shield." And who is it? It's Captain Steve Rogers. Captain America is back. Then we pan to the Hulkbuster. Scarlett Johansson with some combat. Doctor Strange fighting. Some more of these space spears coming down. And then we show a bunch of combat, which I'm guessing is in Wakanda. Because it's showing Wakandans. It's showing what looks like an African setting, a jungle setting. And it's showing Captain America, who I know is in Wakanda, after finding out in Civil War, him and Bucky have gone to Wakanda for protection. And it's showing Black Panther. I'm assuming they're in Wakanda. Then it pans to, I have to go back and make sure I look at it correctly. I believe it was Thanos that just grabbed Spider-Man. Yep, Spider-Man is being beat up by Thanos. And then it shows Tony Stark in the rubbish again. It looks like he's been crying. Paul Bettany is Vision. He is getting the stone, the Infinity Stone that is in his head, being ripped out of his head right now. And then there is Thanos adding the Tesseract, the blue stone, to his Infinity Gauntlet.
Did he blow it up? Why?
I don't know how it turns into a stone.
Or
but here's the thing
chip off
too.
A piece of
Here's
it.
the thing too. I just want you to know. You see that purple stone that was on that first knuckle from Guardians of the Galaxy? That was the purple stone from the Guardians of the Galaxy. So he somehow has invaded. He somehow got a hold of it from the Nova Corps. I don't know how. We'll find out in this trailer. Hopefully, new Iron Man suit looks pretty damn dope. It looks like it shows more muscular definition.
Right.
So it's not as much of a robotic suit as it used to be. Another shot of Thanos. Thanos looks absolutely phenomenal. Like the touch-ups that they did for him, just absolutely stunning. Josh Brolin, you can tell there's Josh Brolin. Like you can see it in his face. Like you can see Thanos in his face, but he just looks so good. Like that character just looks so good. I don't know about you. It just doesn't look like a big, intimidating dude to you?
It does.
It is. Yeah, he is. He plays it well. They did it well with the graphics. There he's punching Iron Man. Here's Bucky. Bucky is back. He was put in a slumber because what happened was when he was killed in Captain America, when he was quote-unquote killed in Captain America, the first Avenger, the very first Captain America movie, they thought he was dead, but he was brought back by the Nazis and then the Soviets, and the Soviets brainwashed him into becoming an assassin, and he had killed people all over the years. The whole point of Civil War was that someone was posing as Bucky, killed the King of Wakanda, and bombed the UN. And so someone posed as Bucky to do it. And then the guy who did it reactivated Bucky to try and kill Captain America and Tony Stark. And then they find out that he killed Tony Stark's parents. Winter Soldier did. He was hired as an assassin from the Soviets to kill Howard Stark and his wife.
So is this guy?
And that's how the Civil War. That's how Civil War ends. Is Iron Man finds out and there's this huge fight, and Captain America's fighting him, and Iron Man says that you don't deserve that shield. My father made you that shield. So Captain America drops the shield. He leaves and goes to Wakanda. And so Bucky goes into a slumber state until they can figure out how to get this activation code out of his head. This cell, what the hell do they call it? Like the cell agents. You know what I'm talking about? Underground cell agents, where it's like one keyword and they kick back in. You never heard of it at all?
What the hell are you talking about?
So,
I don't even know what you're talking about right now.
He can be regular Bucky again, but then if someone brings up, I think it was
like
November 12th, if you say like November 12th, 1938, I think, or like 1948, and then you bring up like a couple words, like November, Oscar, Tango, November, whatever type of thing, a couple military words, he'll kick back into his assassin state and head back into his. He's a sleeper cell. That's what it is. He's a sleeper cell, and he gets reawoken by those terms.
So is that guy a good guy or a bad guy?
He's a good guy who was brainwashed into being a bad guy, but he's a good guy.
So what's so special about him?
He's got a metal arm. That's pretty cool, and he's a skilled gunman and assassin.
What the hell is a gun going to do against aliens?
I don't know. You're gonna have to find out. What do you want me to tell you? Find out. Show Black Panther again. Like I said, I'm guessing. Yeah, this
what's so special about Black Panther? What can he do?
So his suit is actually made out of a material. I don't know what it might be vibranium, but it's made out of a material that's from Wakanda.
Okay.
The Kingdom of Wakanda. I believe it's like Wakanda's it's like a country, but it's like half mythical, half like real. Because like you have to like not like the way they showed it in the trailer, you have to like fly through almost like a portal to get to Wakanda. But it's in the world. It's on Earth. I think it's just like a country. I'm pretty sure it's just like a regular country.
Okay.
Like they really mystify it in the trailer. But I think it looks pretty cool. Michael B. Jordan is going to be his main nemesis in Black Panther. And I love Chad Boswick. He was Jackie Robinson. He was what the hell was his name in I think it was David Mack or Vontae Mack. I think that was his name in Draft Day.
I haven't seen any of those movies.
Okay. He was Vontae Mack in Draft Day. He was Jackie Robinson in 42. He was also in The Express, the movie about Ernie Davis and Syracuse football. He played Floyd Little. Very end of the movie. He's also James Brown, the James Brown film. I think it's like I Feel Good. That's what it's called. I don't remember what the James Brown movie was called. This guy is pretty big budget. One of my favorite actors. Here he is, Sean. Then we've got Falcon shooting some guns into, I'm guessing, an army. I love these huge wide shots of like. This definitely has to be Wakanda, because like you see all these Wakandans, like you see a Wakandan military, because they're holding like melee weapons. This isn't like an American government where like they're holding guns and they're charging with missiles and stuff. Like this is a combat squad. And then you get this really good shot of Captain America leading Black Panther, a character I don't know yet. I don't know her name. To the left of Black Panther. In the far back is the Hulk. To the left of the Hulk is Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow. Above her, War Machine. And then to the left is Bucky, Winter Soldier. And in the front, Captain America dons this black suit. And then it ends with the Avengers theme. And this is where the best part comes. Shows Avengers Infinity War. Shows it coming May 2018, and then we end with Thor covered. Looks like he's been in a fight. Still wearing his eye patch for Ragnarok because his eye was ripped out by his sister.
Really?
Yeah, his sister's the villain. I think it's Helea, goddess of war and death.
Now is he getting his
and
eye
he
back?
Says,
is he getting his eye back?
See, I don't know, because the thing is like they had
because that's going to be annoying.
Well, see, I don't know, because, like, he takes his rightful place as the king of Asgardians, okay? And so Odin, his father, was the king of Asgard. He had an eye patch, too. So they're trying to say, like, he's finally made that full ascension to it. But, like, in all the promotional material, he's got both of his eyes. So I'm wondering if when he gets to Earth, when he says, "Who the hell are you guys?" and "Who does it pan to?" Motherfucking, we're dropping two of them today. Guardians of the Galaxy. Chris Pratt, Star-Lord, got an older Groot back there. Got Gamora, you got Mantis, you got Rocket, and in the back right, the man of the hour, Mr. Power himself, Dave Bautista as Drax. let me tell you something. And it just ends when he says, who the hell are you guys? And then it ends May 2018. So here's my prediction for this film. You're probably not going to get a lot of Thor. You're probably not going to get a lot of Guardians of the Galaxy. You're probably not going to get a lot of Guardians. But, oh my God, did this look phenomenal. 20 out of 10.
20 out of 10.
Same thing with Star Wars. 20 out of 10. I think this film right here, these two films, will be the biggest films in 50 years.
50 years.
50 years. I think these two films are going to break every record possible.
You think
Any
so?
box office record that's been untouchable, this movie will shatter it. I think it will. I think this is going to be a 20 out of 10. Great movie. And so my guess is at the very end, towards the middle to the end of the movie, you will get the return to Earth of Thor and Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord. Because that's going to be great. I mean, going back to Thor though, I kind of do hope they give him his eye back. Because, so in Thor Ragnarok, he loses his eye, okay? But he gets these, like, absolutely amazing powers that he's had hidden in himself the whole time. Okay? And so he was using Mjolnir, the hammer of Thor, given to him by Odin. And so, it breaks. And he loses the hammer. But here's what I love. This right here. This ending scene of Thor when he gets on the bridge of Asgard and he's fighting the army of Helea and the Undead. Look at this. He's got no hammer anymore, but he's radiating lightning all over his body and his eyes have gone blue with the lightning. Let's see if they show it again. See if I get a better picture of it for you. But it looks absolutely phenomenal. Here it is. So that was one other one of the characters. Well, that didn't make any sense because I didn't think he had long hair when he saw them. I'm pretty sure he got his haircut before he went out there. Yeah, because he had to get a cut before he got to the battle arena. That's his sister. A couple more shots from Thor. Right there. Like this. This at the end. Absolutely just badass. And they played the Immigrant song to go with it by, I believe it's Led Zeppelin. I have it here on my phone. I've been jamming out to it for the past few weeks. Ever since. Oh, yeah. Because this thing is so cool. So cool. This scene. It further institutes this feeling I've had. Yes, Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin. If I could have any powers at all, I know we said Goku. I'm changing it back to what the original one I always had.
Yeah.
Lightning powers.
Lightning powers.
From Infamous. Cole McGrath's powers from Infamous. It was a PlayStation game. Because then eventually you become... Or Thor. I'd take Thor, though, because you got the hammer, which he's badass with the hammer. The armor looks cool. I mean, Thor is Norse. Long blonde hair, beard, fights really well, good looking, kicks the shit out of people. And then he's got these new lightning powers. He's radiating light. That is the coolest power ever. I cannot think of a cooler power out of any of the superheroes where he's literally like radiating lightning. It is so cool. Lightning and he's the god of thunder. And then you always look at people, you put your fist and you go, I'm about to bring you the thunder. And you drop them like a sack of potatoes. Drop them like the sad excuse they are to who the hell do they think they are to fight the god of thunder, who is you. So I am incredibly excited for this film. You could give 10 shits, I can tell.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what's going on in this trailer.
You get me so much. Are you watching it right now?
No, I'm just looking through the comments.
You have the comments?
Yep.
A bunch of Goku comments, I'm guessing?
No, I haven't seen one yet. Someone asked where Thor was.
Ha! He's at the end, pal! Hashtag Buckaroo. Get good, kid. And everybody would know at the end of Thor Ragnarok, Asgard's destroyed, so he has to go to Earth. So really? I don't know where the Guardians come in, but hell, if I can get some Chris Pratt and some Batista, I'm happy. Because now here's what you get too. Thor Ragnarok was very similar to Guardians in that it had a badass soundtrack, it was comedic, had its light moments and its serious moments, really good fight scenes, okay? Here's my dream team of Avengers to take on Thanos, okay? You got the serious Superman-esque character in Captain America, the leader that rallies them all around. Make sure everything's serious. Make sure you show that there's hope in this world, okay? Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Because he's funny, he's hilarious, he's youthful, and then you can always just remember, you can always just kind of pan back to his thoughts of just some random guy selling falafels. Hey, yo, Spider-Man, do a flip! Hey, I'll do a flip for you, I'm Spider-Man! And Marissa Tomei's Aunt May was hilarious. And then the Guardians, because Batista is hilarious in Guardians 2. Drax.
Batista.
Chris Pratt, as Star-Lord, which that made his career. I don't care what anybody else says. Don't tell me Chris Pratt's career was made from it. That literally plunged him into A+ stardom.
Yeah.
Parks and Rec gave him that outlet to get that notoriety, but Guardians threw him into the equation of one of the top actors.
Oh yeah.
There's only one actor in the Marvel universe that doesn't have a role yet. There's only one actor who's big names who's not in the Marvel universe yet that people want, and you're not gonna get it.
I won't.
No, like people aren't gonna get it. It's The Rock. People want The Rock in the movies.
The Rock.
I like honestly not having big stars in these films. I don't like having the egos, like you see with Ben Affleck. I don't like seeing Ben Affleck as Batman. I tolerate it.
You tolerate
I tolerate it. He was the second. So let's just go quickly back to Justice League, because this talk needs to be dominated by Marvel.
Justice League.
And then Star Wars. Justice League. My favorite characters. 1, Aquaman. 2, Henry Cavill as Superman. 3, Cyborg. I really liked how they portrayed Cyborg. And then I'd say Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. Then that's like the like. Then we go about 10 feet underground. She's about 10 feet of shit. You got Ben Affleck. 100 feet of shit. You got Ezra Miller as the Flash. I hated the Flash.
You don't like the Flash?
No, it was just Sheldon Cooper as the Flash. I don't find Sheldon Cooper funny.
Wait, are you talking about the same guy who played Sheldon Cooper?
No, he literally acts like Sheldon Cooper, dressed as the Flash.
So he has the Sheldon Cooper-esque personality. Is that what you're trying to say?
Of like, I'm a bitch. I'm scared of everything. I won't fight anybody, and I'm just this and I'm that. Grant Gustin would have been 100 times better. What are you looking at? Big notification from Bleach Report, perhaps?
No, apparently we're under security or some shit.
We're under security at Lemoyne?
As in Lemoyne.
We're on lockdown?
No, just an alert. There's a strong armed robbery sometime earlier this morning.
Where? Oh man, folks.
Springfield Road, of course.
This is high impact right here. We're reporting you live.
No,
Well, live when we record this at like noon. In the face of danger.
It's just Springfield Road. It's like last year where that shooting was.
Oh yeah, that's right. No, yeah, that's literally right there.
Yeah.
No, that shit happens here all the time. That's why people gotta be aware. Like, you gotta be careful when you walk around. Like, when you walk off campus, you gotta be careful.
That's why I don't walk off campus.
Yeah, exactly. People around here think like this is just like 10 out of 10 community. People have been robbed and stabbed here before. Lemoyne students have been stabbed getting off campus trying to buy fake weed before. It's not a place to mess around with. But no one will listen because we're all here about community and love and all that type of stuff when there's like serious things going on, but nobody cares.
But nobody cares.
Let's talk about actual serious things, though. Let's get back to the real problems at hand.
The real problems.
Okay? The President of the United States. Politics. Let's get to that. Politics. The man in the White House. Let me ask you something, Cam. What would a presidency under the Muscles Marinara administration look like? Can you talk to me about it? Anything? Who would be your vice president? Let me ask you that.
My vice president?
Yeah. Who would it be?
I would like to see Joe Girardi.
Joe Girardi?
Yes. Yeah, he's my dude.
Oh my god. That's a curveball, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Joe Girardi. Why Joe Girardi?
Because I like him.
You see, this is exactly why I do the mic test at the very beginning. I go, talk to me as loud as you are going to talk. you son of a bitch. Joe Girardi, okay.
I feel like he's a very professional dude. He won't cause like much controversy like Trump has with all the shit he's been saying.
Okay, who's your Secretary of State? The man who's third in line.
What do they do?
What's Secretary of State do?
Yeah, I don't keep up with politics because it's just a waste of time for me.
You need to get involved. Do you know what the Net Neutrality Act is going on right now?
They're trying to kill that Indian dude.
So the man who was the chairman of the FCC wants the internet to be essentially privatized, and his logic is that it's going to make internet providers allow you to pay less for internet, but like every single person with a brain realize that this is literally just the guy who used to represent Verizon and Comcast telling people, we're going to try to kill the internet, so you have to pay more to have internet, decent internet.
Right.
And then what I thought about this too was that he, I learned this. He was the lawyer for Comcast and Verizon for many years. And I found this out as a fun fact. Do you know what consumes 40% of all bandwidth on the internet? What website? What service?
Google?
No.
Pornhub.
No. Netflix. Netflix is 39% per Nielsen, and per reports from the Wall Street Journal and from the Business Insider. It's roughly between 35 and 41% of internet bandwidth.
So what are you trying to say? Like,
what I'm saying is,
taking
I
business
honestly
away
think
from TV companies.
This is my whole thought process here. I think that these companies like Comcast and Verizon are going to throttle the internet, make it terrible, so when you try to have services like Netflix, you get pissed off that it doesn't work, and you try to buy their basic TV packages again. Because people are getting rid of TV and going to Netflix and Hulu.
Yeah.
So this is their way to strangle and cut them out of business again and get rid of them.
Yep.
Because what these companies can do is they can throttle the internet and they can make you get less internet and tell you, hey, if you want better internet for Netflix, you got to pay an extra $25 a month, and then you actually have to pay $10 a month just to be able to go to the domain of Netflix. So they can literally make you pay. I mean, everyone kept using the buffet. Everyone kept saying, imagine there's a buffet where you pay money and you get all you can eat. Think of it this way. The way they want to do it is they want to do it as a club. You pay to get in,
right,
and then you pay for the drinks inside. And they want to have big door charges to get in. And you can have a lot of money and skip the line and get right in. Or you can have not a lot of money and wait your turn and see if you can get into the club. See if the bouncer lets you in. And he most likely won't. If you're just like me. 5'8", fat, and ugly. You're not going to get into the club. You're not going to be getting thotties looking like me. Unless you got a lot of hundreds in your pocket, as the kids say these days. So it's literally going to cripple the internet. And so I had actually contacted, this is just for anyone that actually gets politically active, I actually contacted Senator Chuck Schumer regarding this issue. And he was one of the guys who was essential to keeping the Bills in Buffalo.
Chuck Schumer.
Yes.
Who's the other guy?
John Katko?
No.
Cuomo?
So was a Cuomo at that bastard?
Cuomo's our governor. You hate Cuomo? I love Cuomo.
He made it illegal to tint your windows, but yeah, he has window tints of his own.
He's the fucking governor. You don't want people knowing where he is in the car.
Sure you do.
No, you don't. Someone could kill him.
Good. He legalized window tinting.
You can't have a super tinted window.
That's right.
Oh my god.
This is America. We can do what we want.
Let me tell you something. I like living in New York. I don't care we pay higher taxes. This is one of the safest states to be in. And one of the most reasonable states to be in. Except when it comes to housing. Housing, like owning a house is ridiculous.
Oh yeah, it's wicked high.
So
wicked
here,
expensive.
I had sent a email to the office of Chuck Schumer saying, I don't think you should vote for this. Or I don't think you should support the killing of net neutrality. He responded to me, and I gave him a whole list of reasons why. He responded, quote, Dear Mr. Gilmore, thank you for contacting me. Well, shit, people know my name. Thank you for contacting me to express your support for the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC's 2015 Open Internet Order, which is when they decided to have net neutrality. I share your belief in the need for strong net neutrality. The FCC chairman, the guy you're talking about, Ajit Pai, recently announced the Trump administration's plan to dismantle the Obama-era FCC rules that required internet service providers like AT&T and Comcast to treat all internet traffic fairly. This would unravel net neutrality, and the FCC is moving in the wrong direction. It will neither invigorate our economy nor spark innovation. I actually said those words to him, so I think he said that back to me because, or whoever wrote it back. I don't think he wrote. I don't think he emailed me.
No,
probably some intern did.
Yeah,
or someone in the office. I'll be realistic. But like, this is from his office. So this is his official statement. Instead, it will limit choices for consumers and greatly increase costs for American startups. Keeping the internet open is critical to 21st century freedom and innovation for both businesses and individuals alike. In 2014, I joined my Senate colleagues in writing a letter to then FCC Chairman Tom Wheeler, urging him to adopt strong net neutrality. I will continue to press the Trump administration to support a free and open internet and maintain critical consumer protections. I believe the federal government can ensure that all American households have reliable internet access at a reasonable cost. It will continue to fight for protection of net neutrality. Again, thank you for contacting me, and please keep in touch with your thoughts and opinions regarding this topic. Sincerely, United States Senator Charles E. Schumer. Chuck Schumer. Either way. So, that was his comment on net neutrality. This is something huge. Like, it's honestly a very big deal. Because
I think what needs to happen is that we need to overthrow the government.
Well, here's what I was thinking, okay? So I've told you this before. My whole mission in life, the reason I don't know what I want to do, people keep telling me I should go into sports radio. I like sports radio. The reason I do what I do, which is I don't know what I'm going to do yet.
So
the goal, the purpose of me being here and doing what I do is to inspire people or to make lives better for people. I want to make a difference. So when they put me in the ground, there's going to be at least some people that are like, well, you know what? He was a pretty damn good guy. He helped us a lot. So, someone told me I should run for Congress.
You should do it.
Maybe someday. I
Do
gotta
it.
be 25.
Do
I gotta
it.
be at least 25 to run for the House of Representatives.
I'd vote for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So now I have 3 people I know that would vote for me. Actually, 7. So I have 7 people that would vote for me. In an election that would probably be like 4,000 people. So
That's a start.
Exactly. But here's my thing. I want to talk about what my presidency would look like. A little bit of my cabinet as well. So, I want to go with 2 vice presidents. Possibly a third. Like, these are my 3 choices. Number 1, I hope he's my running mate and not my opponent, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Because here's the deal. You get me. I'm honest. I'm faithful to you. I'm not going to lie to you. And then you add on the ticket of The Rock. Maybe I'm most likely not going to be well known. Then you add on the ticket of The Rock. He's famous. He's lovable. He's good looking. He's handsome. He's tall. He's a minority. And I know that sounds really terrible to say, but like that's something that matters.
Oh yeah.
Like that's the type of stuff that matters. Is like you got to check every single box to try and appeal people. So that would be one. Or Braun Strowman, because 1, he's huge. 2, he's a celebrity because he's a professional wrestler, so people will know him. They'll like him. 3, he's Southern, so I have a chance to, if I'm in the Democratic Party, I have a chance to get some likability from some Southern voters who may not like the Republican candidate. Or if I'm a Republican, I add a Southern voice, so I may not lose to a Southern Democrat.
Can't you just be that third-party person?
Yeah, but this is third-party candidates don't win presidencies. Okay, no third-party candidate wins.
Maybe they should. Maybe that's what we need.
I don't know, but I just gotta play I gotta play the games by the rules here. Okay, my Secretary of State, Magic Johnson, Urban Magic Johnson, or Jerry West, both very smart, intellectual businessmen. Very intelligent.
Mark Cuban.
Yeah, Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban could be another one. But I have him somewhere else, though. Secretary of Treasury. They're part of, like, economics, protecting economic interests in the United States. 2 people. 1, Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA.
Right.
Because he knows how to have very good international relationships with people.
Yep.
The second one, the man who opened the doors to China. Triple H. The WWE. Paul Levesque. I'd love to have him as my Secretary of Treasury. Secretary of Defense. Current NFL left tackle. Former Army Ranger. Alejandro Villanueva. Attorney General. Chris Christie. Why? He's fat like me. He's a loudmouth like me. He's a New Yorker. And he's a good lawyer. He was a lawyer before. He was the Attorney General from New Jersey. Secretary of the Interior. So their job is conservation, focusing on sciences, nature, environment, preservation. Either Bill Nye, the science guy.
The sellout guy.
Well, or most likely Neil deGrasse Tyson, the physicist.
Yep.
The problem is I don't know if you'd take that job because it's not physics. It's not physics.
Right.
But I still think you'd do a good job. Highlighting right here because you're looking at it. Secretary of Commerce, the man. You picked your VP.
Yep.
As Joe Girardi. I picked his boss, Brian Cashman, because Brian Cashman knows about commerce. He knows how to make some money.
Yep.
Commerce, trading. Who wins trades better than Brian Cashman?
No one.
No one. No one in the biz. No one in the biz.
Nope.
Secretary of Energy. If I could get him, Elon Musk. I mean,
Yep.
It's a dream scenario. U.S. Trade Representative. I could also make that Brian Cashman, or I'd make it the GM of the Pats. Gets a lot of good out of nothing.
Rob Kraft, my dude.
Robert Kraft's the owner.
Oh, that's right. Who you said GM?
Yeah, I don't know the GM.
He's not important.
So then, here's the other thing too. What would you expect in my presidency? I'm gonna be forthcoming. My speech that I'm gonna tell people is this: look, we gotta burn this thing to the ground to build it back up. We gotta bleach this whole process. We're starting this thing all over again. It's gonna be difficult. You're gonna hate it, but look, we gotta get put on the right track in the new day. On the right track. That's what it is. Everything we gotta do it. You can't build for a championship and then try to draft young and go and tank for a first overall pick at the same time. You gotta do one or the other. And we have been trying to do both at the same time for years now. We need to just take the medicine, suck for a year, get that first overall pick, and start building. And that's what I'm doing. I'm building this thing from scratch. We're building it back up. First thing I'm going to be doing, one of those first things I'm going to be doing, I'm going to get those goddamn statues down. Taking those stupid Confederate statues down.
What statues?
The Confederate statues in the South. Taking those down. Or I'm moving them somewhere where they're private. Because they're public statues. They represent the city, the state, the government, and more importantly, me. Because I'm the president at the time.
Yeah.
They're going to be a slap in my face. I'm getting those damn things out. And you may say, oh, you hate Southerners. No, because I'm going to replace them with like Bear Bryant, Nick Saban.
You're having a Nick Saban
Dale
statue.
Sayers, a Pikachu statue perhaps. A Mudkip. Ricky Williams from Texas. I'm going to put statues of people that they can look up to and appreciate. Not traitors of the United States government who rebelled against the United States. I do not want them anymore.
Maybe that's foreshadowing of what we need.
A revolution?
Yeah, I think we need another civil war.
No, we don't need another civil war. We need a competent person to come in and start this thing where it should have been started years ago. You just got to do it. Because here's the problem. You overthrow the government, and you're doing it anyway. This way, I'm coming in, I'm doing it fair, I'm doing it legally, and I'm starting this bitch over.
Yeah.
Next thing I'm doing, I'm cutting spending on useless shit. We spend way too much money on worthless shit.
Like?
There's been so many buildings. I watched this documentary and these reports. We've spent so much money on buildings we built in Afghanistan that we never touched. We spent $38 billion on a military complex we did not touch in Afghanistan. We didn't even finish building it. Put $38 million into nothing. I'm taking that $38 billion with a B, and I'm putting it into some public works here. All right? I'm talking about building some infrastructure. I'm talking about getting rid of student loans. I'm talking about the Excelsior program. Here's my difference, though. I'm going to be strict as hell with the Excelsior program.
Yeah.
So the New York State Excelsior program is you get free education, or you don't have to take student loans. However, you have to stay in the state as long as you attended college. I'm tripling that.
You're tripling
I'm
that.
tripling it. You stay here, you get a free education for 4 years, you're staying here for 12.
Yeah.
And then, I'd probably change it for like doctorate programs and stuff like that. But you need to stay as a resident of the United States for at least 10 years.
Oh, United States or New York?
The United States. If I'm president of the United States. Then that way, you don't have people coming in here, getting an education, and just leaving. I want them to get that education and help people here. Make a difference here.
Who goes from other countries and go back to their country? People just come in, people get their education and come into
what a foreign exchange student is?
Is that what they do?
Yes, they get education here. A lot of them will go back.
Why the hell would you do that? Just stay in your own country.
Because New York offers really good education. We offer great education. So I want to make sure that we keep it. We got to retain it.
That is debatable.
That's the problem with New York. Is New York, people don't like New York because of the high taxes. So they come here, get one of the best educations in the country, top 5, and then they leave.
They leave the country. They leave the state.
They leave the state.
Okay,
so I'm putting the country on lockdown. I'm like, listen, and you can leave. You just got to pay your loans back. You just got to pay the loans.
Right.
I'm not forcing you to stay, but like the longer you stay, the more your debt is forgiven. So like if it's 10 years, 10% is forgiven the first year, 20% the second year, 30% the third year. I think that's fair.
Right.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
If you want to leave, you can. You just got to pay for your loans.
Right.
You just got to pay for them.
Right.
That's no problem with me. So I'm trying to retain talent here. You know, that's what you got to do. And then another thing I'm putting in too. That's the first thing I'm doing. Second thing, I'm getting sick of this crap. I'm tired of it. We're tearing this whole system down. I'm allowing women to have birth control for free. I'm getting rid of the tampon tax. That's ridiculous. And I'm bringing in...
Yeah. Everything's taxed.
No, tampons are heavily taxed.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh, because people know they gotta buy it, so they're going to just tax the shit out of it.
And there's not a lot of women in legislation to fight it. So I'm getting rid of that. I'm having gender equality, racial equality. I'm getting rid of this bullshit. None more. No, it's 2017 right now. By the time I'm president, it'll probably be like 2030 or something, maybe. At least 2030. Like, we're getting rid of this. Like, this shit should have been gone years ago. We're getting rid of it now. Because it's about high time this thing's gone.
I don't know. Is there inequality in the world?
Yes, there's inequality.
I don't know. I live under a rock, so I wouldn't know.
There is. There's inequality. And we're getting rid of that. We're overhauling that.
Well, yeah, how do you plan on doing that?
Overhauling everything. I'm overhauling everything.
That's a very vague term or explanation.
Well, you give me a field. I'll tell you how I'm going to give an attempt to overhaul.
I don't know. What you just said, gender and racial equality.
So gender equality, I'm getting the rate. I'm going to make sure a state-mandated wage equality.
Okay. So
that men with the same position must be paid, or women applying for a position must be paid the same amount as a man. So I'm having regulated positions. I know that could be bad, but finding some medium with people to build that. Then I'm having paid maternity leave. In the United States, most women don't have paid maternity leave. We're one of the only countries that doesn't have that. Maternity leave and paternity leave is coming in. Get ready.
Yeah.
Mothers, you can take a little bit of time off from work, come back to your job, and do what you love after having a child. And fathers, when she comes back to her work, you can take some time off of yours and help with the child if you would like.
That's why coming. That's why I have no kids.
Coming. What?
That's why I have no kids.
That's coming. That's how I'm gonna roll that in. What else? What else you want to know?
How is there racial inequality? Don't people? Isn't there like affirmative action or something like that?
Well, there's affirmative action, but I'm talking about like there's a lot of problems that came around. So I had to watch a documentary called 13th on Netflix, and so in the documentary it brought up a lot of really good points. So they had districts, and like a city would have certain districts,
right?
Green districts and red districts,
right?
The red districts were not getting any loans for federal government to build houses and to buy houses.
Okay.
Green districts were. Can you guess which one was the white neighborhoods, and can you guess which neighborhood was the black neighborhood?
I'm guessing the greens.
The greens were the white neighborhoods. They were getting the loans they wanted. The minorities were not getting the loans they needed. And then when drugs rolled around, crack, cocaine, and the powdered cocaine came out. The powdered cocaine was in the green neighborhoods, the rich white neighborhoods. Crack was in the predominantly poor black neighborhoods. You were punished severely, more severe, for having crack cocaine, the same substance. One's a powder, one you smoke. The same substance. You were punished for having crack more than having cocaine. You'd have to have more cocaine. You'd have to have I think 7 grams of cocaine to get punished for half a gram of crack.
Really?
Yeah.
That's messed up.
Yeah, I'm getting rid of that. We're fixing that whole thing.
Let's just legalize it all.
I'm not legalizing anything. Maybe I'll legalize weed. I'm not legalizing drugs.
Why?
Cause I don't need a goddamn madhouse going on here.
If they die, they die.
No. You ever seen Kingsman 2? That's what happens in Kingsman 2.
I don't watch movies, remember?
This woman poisons her drugs, and then she tells the government she wants like $20 trillion, and she'll put the antidote in all of her drugs, so when people take the drugs again, they can be saved. It's like an instant, it will kill you in I think a day, or 8 hours, something like that. The president of the United States goes, "Good, get rid of all the druggies. I don't need them anymore." And so it's up to the Kingsman to get the antidote and distribute it to people so they don't die. So the government, the president of the United States, was just telling people that you could get treatment. He was just locking them up in stadiums and in cages.
Really?
Yeah, that's what happens in Kingsman 2.
There's been how many Kingsmen have there been?
2. It was the second one that came out.
Oh.
Taxes on higher classes. And then here's another thing I'm having. Higher taxes on those companies who rely on their manufactured goods outside of the U.S. versus their U.S. goods counterparts. So like if Nike wants to upcharge people and keep upcharging people, guess what? You're paying a tax for it.
That's right.
I'm taxing your ass for it. No more tax breaks for ripping people off. That's done. However, if you keep your factory here, I'll give you a tax break. If your main factory is here, because the problem is I can't say your main workforce, because what they'll do is they'll say, well, we only have 20 factories that employ 50 people in a sweatshop that they get paid $1 and they work 40-hour days, or 24-hour days, not 40-hour days, 24-hour days. They're working all the time. Compared to I have so many Nike stores in the United States with hundreds of employees everywhere. Then they get then they find that loophole. If your manufacturer is outside the United States, you have to pay a higher tax. Not a huge tax, but you have to pay it. And then I'm going to, and this is going to be probably the most controversial thing I do. I'm going to instill a 2% tax on e-commerce during high traffic times. So during the holidays. 2%. The reason why is so that I don't have to heavily tax everybody all at once and just flood them with high taxes. But I have enough resources and money that I can give people these programs that I want to give people. I'm going to decriminalize drugs too. That's another program I'm talking about. That's part of the racial equality. Is that sometimes when they're talking about going back to the crack cocaine and the powder, those who had the cocaine powder were offered rehabilitation, where the ones that had crack were offered jail time. They were offered rehab. So I'm going to try to decriminalize drugs. Try to make it a mental health issue before I make it a criminal issue. So I'm going to give you the opportunity to prove yourself and to seek help. After a couple times, though, your ass is going to jail.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to be strict on that. The problem is there's a lot of overcrowding in prisons.
Yep.
And people that are selling weed shouldn't be in prison.
No.
Because God knows they could be doing worse things.
Yes.
I might legalize weed and just put a tax on it. I'd be that bastard.
Well, look what Colorado's doing.
What?
Isn't Colorado killing that?
What do you mean?
They legalized pot and everything.
Yeah. And
they're taxing it and they're making a killing off of it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's what I would do. But people would hate that. They'd be like, oh, I gotta pay taxes for weed now? Yes. To help people go to college. To help pay for the things in the city. Because I'm going to try and invest as much back into people. And I'm going to need people that are going to have to help me and stand by me on this. But that's my goal. Is my presidency would be here to help people. A lot of people will be like, wow, you're a radical socialist here. Maybe I am.
Maybe that's what we need.
I don't know. Maybe it is. Some of these programs are pretty socialist. But I think the reason that is because they've made so much damn money ripping people off.
Right.
Like there's so much money to be made on student loans. Hell, the President of the United States, Barack Obama, said during his 2008 campaign, he knows what it's like to go through loans. Him and Michelle paid off their loan 10 years prior. The damn guy was a senator, and he was running for president, and he had to pay student loans that lasted almost up to his presidency.
Jesus.
That's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Right.
That people have to go in debt to get an education.
Yep.
And to me, here's why education, I don't mind paying a tax for someone to get a free education. If there's someone in a bad neighborhood that can't get out of that bad neighborhood, but they're doing their best to work hard, and they go out and they get that education, they get a job, and they go out and make a difference in the world, or they save one life, maybe they become a doctor and they save one life, that entire program, all of it, is worth it if that man saves one life. If one life is saved and helped.
What happens if he takes 50 lives?
And if he starts killing people?
Yeah.
I mean, you got college education though. I mean, that'd be partly on the college. I mean, that's them. They gotta check for people. I'm still gonna have private business by all means. I'm getting business, but like basic human rights are going to be guaranteed.
Right.
Like I'm not gonna interfere on businesses and say you gotta. I would try to get a way. I would work with my economists to build a livable wage. Get a plan towards a livable wage. Try to lower inflation. Try to fix the market a little bit. But I can't touch the market. I'm not going to touch it. I have to let the economy do that. So find some way to fix this market so that people can have a better lifestyle for themselves. That's my goal. That'd be President Gilmore.
Well, we're overpopulated. That's why.
Yeah, that's true.
We need to slow down on all the babies we're having.
Quit it on all the bound chicka wows.
Yep. Well, with your thing, birth control is going to be free. What about condoms?
Condoms are free. You can go get condoms for free now. You
True.
just can't go to Kinney's and buy them for free. You can buy condoms, but you can also get them for free almost anywhere.
Almost anywhere.
You can go to here and get condoms for free. You can go Planned Parenthood and get condoms for free.
I thought they closed down all the Planned Parenthoods.
Well, that's the thing is I'm going to put more funding back into them, so they open them back up.
Gotcha.
Give women the health care they deserve, because a research came out from the University of Boston. 48% of women who take birth control use it for a purpose, or 48% of women who use the birth control pill take it for more than just birth control. It helps them with other health issues.
Right.
I don't know what those health issues are. I'm sorry. I'd have to ask somebody that does it. But when that comes out from Boston University, an accredited college with accredited medical research, mind you, you know what Boston College discovered? CTE. They were the ones that discovered CTE.
Really?
So when they're discovering these types of things, I trust them. They're an accredited university.
Right.
So when they're saying these things that women need this pill, they need it. It shouldn't be something you have to pay for.
Right.
Because a lot of people go, oh, it's only $50, only $30, only $40. That's a month. $50 a month. $50, $600 a year.
Right.
That should not be that way. At most, it would be $10 a month. At most. Free. That's the thing too. I'm overhauling medical care.
Yeah.
Overhauling that shit. I'm sorry. You'll still get paid.
Right.
But like, people just aren't going to get ripped off by insurance companies.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is the insurance companies.
Yeah, I'm getting right into that market. I'm just cutting that right through. I'm going to have the internet neutral. Net neutrality. I'm not getting rid of that. I'm not going to let businesses ruin people. That's my thing. I'm not going to let businesses
that alone can get you elected.
People. I think it will. Because here's my thing. Bernie almost got elected with some of these similar programs. And
he didn't almost get elected.
He got pretty close to winning that nomination. Yeah, pretty close.
But like the Democrats purposely pushed through Hillary, though.
Yeah, they wanted her.
Right.
But as I was saying, with the millennial generation, because that was mostly his votes, was all millennials.
Yep.
He almost got it.
Yep.
So adding The Rock to it, adding these policies to help with women, getting rid of these statues, fighting for equality, working on these things, having this party with The Rock, Braun Strowman, or Brian Cashman, gives me a little more favor. And don't get me wrong, I'll be a hard ass on all sorts of stuff. Like, you know what else I would instill?
What?
Very controversial. People hate this. I would instill it though. Drug testing in order to get oh my god, I can't believe I forgot it. Drug testing in order to qualify for welfare. You have to pass a drug test.
I'm down with that.
A lot of people aren't.
Because they do drugs. And they're on welfare.
I mean, maybe.
I have no problem with it because I don't have to worry about that.
I will. My thing is that, my opinion is that there's a lot of people. Welfare comes from the community. A lot of people in the community have to pass drug tests to keep their job. So you should have to pass a drug test to get the money.
That's fair.
You're still gonna get the money. Like you'll still get the money. You'll get a fair amount of it. You'll still get a fair amount. But you just gotta pass a drug test.
Right.
And if you fail a drug test,
you don't get it.
You don't get it.
I like it.
I like that too.
I like it.
People on both the left and the right like it. The people on the far left hate it, saying that it's unconstitutional.
Well, the far left needs to go somewhere.
Somewhere far left.
Yep.
I don't know. I like having those kind of people around because it helps keep momentum going.
But those are the craziest motherfuckers you ever seen in your life.
Yeah, but they're also helpful.
How are they helpful?
Having a guy like Bernie Sanders fight from the far left, fighting for socialism and all these things, changes the platform.
So you're not talking about like the Antifa people, the people who dress up in all black and start destroying shit.
Well, those people help the right. The right gets to go, look how violent these left people are.
True, but I don't know.
I mean, I need the political leaders who are on both sides. I need them.
Right. Well,
because they help.
It looks like you would not be.
They help you track progression.
Far right would not be a fan of you.
No, you see, here's my thing. My opinion.
You're going against everything they believe in, basically.
I'm going against essentially a lot of what conservatives believe in. But the problem is, and I'm going to say this, and I'm probably going to get hate for this, I see myself as a Republican. I do not see myself as a conservative, though. I do not align my views with the president. But I consider myself a Republican.
Yeah?
Yeah. But I would also consider myself as a Democrat as well. It's tough.
So you're in the middle.
Yeah, I'd say I'm 100%. I'd say I'm in the moderate. But I'd say if I had to pick a side, I'd pick Republican. If someone put a gun in my head and said, pick a side, I'd pick Republican.
I'd be like, bite me. I ain't choosing neither one of them.
Well, like, the thing is I wanted to vote in primaries, so I picked Republicans. I could vote in the Republican primaries. Figured I could make a difference that way. Turns out I shouldn't have. I should have went Democrat, and I could vote in the Democratic primary, and I could make a difference that way. I'm going to register as a Democrat.
Your vote does not matter. Everything's pre-planned.
Yes, it does. Your vote matters.
Not really.
Yes, it does.
No, not really.
Why does your vote not matter? Tell me why. Tell me why your vote doesn't matter.
They're all pre-planned.
By who? Zorb the Lizard Guy in the Church of Scientology?
I actually watched a video or a show on something about that where they pre-plan like all of the districts and everything so that all goes up. And
about gerrymandering?
I don't even know what that means.
When you mean districts, what do you mean by districts? Like states districts?
Yeah, and then like builds up into whatever, and then they vote through the popular vote. But the popular vote doesn't really matter because the electoral vote's the only thing that really counts.
Well, see, the state like New York, many states have winner take all. So the popular vote gets all the delegates.
Right.
Other states, I'm about to sneeze, so if there's a quick break in here, I apologize. I know I got a sneeze coming. Many states, I know the Midwest has states where, so every district is the number of seats you have in the representatives. You get those seats based off the census of how many people you have.
Right.
So we have, I think, 28 districts or 29 districts in New York. So we're a pretty big state. California's got 55. I'll take that example.
Yeah.
55 districts. So 55 electoral votes.
Right.
If the state is a winner-take-all, no matter who votes where, the popular vote gets you all 55 delegates.
Well, it's always going to be Democrat.
But, hold on.
Always.
But, yeah. But.
Same with New York. Same with Florida.
Yeah, fun fact, the last time New York went red. No, Florida went red this year.
Did they really?
Yeah, they were one of the swing states. Florida's a swing state every year.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But a lot of states you win by the district. So every district you win is however many votes. So if you win 40 out of the 55 districts, you get 40 votes. And that guy, the other person, which could be a woman, the other person could get 15 of those districts. The other 15 districts, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I prefer, actually, now that I think about it, maybe I don't. The winner take all? No, I prefer popular vote in a state. Because, it does matter. I think popular vote in the state should matter.
I think I watched these. It was called. What was it? It was on True TV. What was it? Adam Ruins Everything or something. I don't know how reliable he is, but
he's from College Humor, so he's from an entertainment-based company. I don't think he's got a degree in anything. What did he say?
I can't remember. It was a while ago.
I'm one of the few people here that actually likes this goddamn electoral college. I like the electoral college. It really doesn't make people find an enemy for anything.
Oh yeah.
If you want to go out, if you want to get rid of the electoral college, Hillary's president.
Yeah.
If people want to get rid of the electoral college and do it off a popular vote, then you know what? There's only 3 states that matter: New York, Texas, and California.
Yep.
They decide the president. If you don't like that, then have an electoral college. The electoral college is essential. If you get rid of the electoral college and just make it a popular vote election, you will ruin this. Because every country, all you gotta do is just go to 3 cities and campaign. The farmers in the Midwest aren't going to get dick done for their programs.
No.
They're not going to have a candidate that gives a damn about them. And then the candidates will be from either California and one of the big cities, Houston or Dallas, or New York.
Right.
City. So, like, you need the electoral college. It's important. Yeah. So, I mean, this is my thing. This is a presidency for me. Would you take that presidency?
What do you mean?
Would you vote for me for president, knowing all that stuff?
Yeah, nothing's unfair.
See, that's what I like to think. But I know, like, anytime a president, anytime a nominee is like, I'm going to instill a 1% tax on those who make more than $40 million a year. People just hear 1% tax, and then, like, Fox News or CNN's like, 1% tax! How it's going to ruin your life! Today at 5.
Well, why can't taxes just be a percentage and everyone gets the same percentage out of their taxes, like out of their salary? You know what I mean? So
there's a tax bracket.
No, but like same for everyone. Like everyone gets the same percentage off.
Because it makes more money to tax the rich. Like you can make more money taxing like Steph Curry who makes $30 million.
Don't like middle class have the highest taxes, percentage wise?
No, the upper class does, but they get The thing is that the upper class has higher taxes, but they also have deductions that they can get. So like the big thing with this tax bill that came out was they compared a business and a teacher.
Right.
In a local business. The senator out of, I believe it was Rhode Island, asked the OMB commissioner. She said, if a teacher in my district buys notebooks, papers, school supplies for her students, is that tax deductible? Meaning, can you get the money back? And he said no. But then she asked if a large business corporation, buys it for a staff meeting, can they get a tax deduction? He said yes. So they get their money back.
Well, he's contradicting himself basically.
No, it's just a system that benefits the business.
The business over people.
Yeah, big business.
Right.
I don't mean to sound like one of those radical who are like, big business ruins everything. It was just it was a tax plan to. Oh, there's that burp and the sneeze finally came at me. So now I don't have to worry about it anymore. No, but the tax plan it was beneficial to big business.
Right.
So that's what it was. Like one thing was, if a factory closes down, are the workers and or if a factory closes down and moves, and a worker must move with them, do they get a deduction on moving expenses? No. If a big business closes its factory and moves to another country, can they get a deduction on the move? Yes.
To another country?
Yeah, to another country. Those were his words. Not a matter of, like, if you read the tax plan, like, this was a question on the hearing. The man that was answering the questions was an OMB officer, was the one who proposed this tax bill, and that's what happened. I think the tax bill's been voted on a couple times. They're still trying to get it passed. I don't think it will get passed. This net neutrality is going to get voted by the FCC. Will most likely pass. It's 5 guys that were appointed by the president and by Trump. So Trump appointed the president of the FCC, who was the lawyer for Comcast and Verizon. He appointed these 5 guys. They're going to vote on this, and then it goes to Senate. It goes to Congress. Congress better vote no. I told all my representatives, if you vote yes on this, prepare to lose my vote. Prepare to lose the vote of every college kid.
Right.
I was like, if you vote yes on this, prepare to lose votes. I was like, I will do everything in my power to make sure people know that you voted against this bill and the damage that it's going to cause.
Yeah.
I doubt they take my threat seriously because, what's one kid going to say? What's one email say? But the point is that if I email that, you email that, 2 other people email that, 30 people email that, his email is filled, his inbox is filled from his constituents, the people that vote for him in his district, saying, if you vote for this, you will not get a vote again. Do not come back here. You will be voted out.
Right.
So then he'll have to vote against it.
Right.
Like, there's some things I understand people voting for in districts. Like, when people vote to, like, lower the smoking tax, I get that. Because there's states like Carolina and Georgia that rely heavily on tobacco.
Right.
They rely on it.
Yeah.
So, like, that's a lot of their factories. And, like, Remington was the same way here. People needed the jobs for lower taxes on the factories and less strict gun laws because they got to sell weapons.
Right.
So they need that type of stuff.
Right.
I understand that argument. I can see that. I can understand it. And I can try to work with somebody. But when it's like this, where it's completely one-sided, nobody benefits from this. Other than him saying, well, these internet providers could make you pay less money. When was the last time Time Warner Cable ever reduced their prices to help people?
Never.
In fact, here's what they did. They currently have a lawsuit with the state of New York regarding this. They were, we're actually an hour and 35 minutes into this. This is a pretty good conversation. I like this. My favorite episode so far, with the Avengers and the football and this. But, so the New York State Attorney General's office is suing Time Warner Cable, now Spectrum?
Yeah, Spectrum.
Because what they were doing before was they were offering customers service. People were paying for that service, and they were throttling the service, knowingly not giving them the service they paid for. So Time Warner, their packages, they had like a 5 megabyte, 50 megabyte, and 100 megabyte internet speed, okay?
5? Who the hell lives on 5 megabytes?
Like old people.
Oh.
A lot of people around here that don't live like close. They just like have internet just to look on Facebook and stuff. Doesn't matter. If you paid for 5 megabytes, you were getting 1 megabyte. If you paid for the 50 megabytes, you're getting 16 megabytes. If you're paying for the 100 megabytes, you're getting 38 megabytes.
Damn.
Knowingly they did this. They knowingly did this to people. So you're going to tell me that this company who does that to people, when there's regulations, is going to, out of the goodness of their heart, lower internet bandwidth or lower prices on the internet for people?
So it saves people money? No.
Exactly. These guys are the worst. Let me look it up. Let me get you the exact numbers here for what they did. So, here it is right here from Polygon. It's also from the Attorney General's office. These guys just have the statement that I like. So, here we go. Here, let me just pull up the stats here on what the Attorney General said. Okay. When connecting wirelessly, the Attorney General Schneiderman says, subscribers on the 300 megabyte per second plan typically received 15% of their promised speed. Customers on the 200 megabyte plan received 20% of promised speed, and subscribers on the 100 megabyte per second speed received 39% of promised speed. Subscribers on the 50% megabyte plan received 58% of promised speed. And I can tell you most likely why they did this. So you knew your internet from Netflix was so bad that you would switch.
Right. And just watch regular TV.
Exactly. So, you really want me to believe that this is going to be fair for people? The companies are going to... And you know what else they're going to do, too? Now, if you are a affiliate of Verizon or Comcast, now when you search maybe like t-shirts, or you look for men's apparel, and let's say you're just looking for new shoes, so you type in athletic shoes. Right now, the first thing you would look up when you type in athletic shoes would be a few different websites. So you would get amongst the lines of Dick's is a sponsored website from Google. You would get another ad from
Finish
Zappos.
Line or Foot.
But you'd get Zappos. You'd get
Zappos.
Dick's. Zappos. They sell online shoes. Famous Footwear, Amazon, and then a couple different other
Foot
websites.
Locker, probably.
This way, this is net neutrality. So this is neutral. The first two are ads by Google.
Right.
That's what it's going to be like with net neutrality gone, except for now, instead of 2 ads and then the actual results, you're going to just get a full thing of ads. A full thing of ads that people paid for to get their results on top.
Right.
So it's a ripoff. The true traffic's not really there. So they're going to gouge customers, make customers pay more, and then they're going to introduce these packages because one of his comments was it was going to be something similar to what happens in Portugal. And so I thought I'd quickly grab you a quick ad because someone from Portugal showed me an ad on what these internet packages include. So,
Why are you trying to base off your internet off of Portugal?
Because Portugal has no net neutrality. So what Portugal does is you pay a certain amount a month towards your internet subscriber.
Right.
For your internet provider. Then you pay if you would like to use phone, texting, messaging plus, phone, Skype, Hangouts, FaceTime, or iMessage, you pay $5 a month. If you would like to use the services of Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Messenger, Tinder, LinkedIn, or Pinterest, you will pay an additional $5 a month. If you would like to use the services of Netflix, Vimeo, Twitch, and YouTube, you would pay a $5 package as well. If you would like to use the services of Spotify, Pandora, SoundCloud, and Google Plus Music, you will pay $5 a month. And if you would like to use Gmail, Yahoo Mail, Google Drive, and a couple Apple-based apps, this is on the LA Times titled "Portugal's Internet Shows Us a World Without Net Neutrality and It's Ugly." It's just a picture that I'm going off of. I don't know all the apps. That's why I'm like the ones I know I'm naming.
Right.
$4.99. So you pay in packages, almost like TV.
Right.
That's total bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Fucking ridiculous. Third F-bomb. But I don't care. Absolutely ridiculous. And it's a ripoff. And so I was reading people's comments on some conservative and some liberal, predominantly conservative and liberal viewpoints. Someone has brainwashed people that this is a good idea. Because everyone on there is going, you guys just don't know what it was like in 2015 without internet, huh? Before 2015. Yeah, exactly what happened with Time Warner Cable. They were ripping people off, and the state had to come in and sue them.
Right.
With net neutrality, you can at least find some way to combat that. Without it, they can throttle the internet so Netflix is terrible quality, but let's say for example you pay for internet from Verizon, okay?
Right.
And the Netflix streaming could be terrible. It's all pixelated, doesn't work, but all of a sudden HBO on demand, their streaming is wonderful. The HBO Go app is running great. Showtime's app's running great. So then you cancel your Netflix subscription and you up with Showtime and HBO, both affiliates of Verizon Files and Verizon.
Right.
So now you see the problem I have here. What pisses me off about this whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So that'd be one of the first things I'd save as president. If it's not saved, if it loses and it's gone, when I become president, I'm bringing that shit back. Net neutrality's coming back. So if I lose it, don't worry too long, people. When I turn 35 and can run for president, I'm bringing it back. So any closing words for today, Cam?
Miami lost last night. That's all
We
I
didn't
gotta
talk
say.
any sports today. I didn't even introduce the show as all the above. I just wanted to dive right into it today.
Bam Adebayo had a good game. He's a future point of our team. With Hassan Whiteside, we're going to tear shit up with them.
We will get into the NBA, the NFL, and all that good stuff on Monday. As always, Cam, it's a pleasure. And thank you so much for joining us today. And as always, until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.